Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for joining us back for another deer. Oh, I've gone all Newcastle like I've only just started the show. Back for another day here at Crafters TV Towers. Another day as part of our 'Tis the Season sale, which I will tell you more about as we head through the show. But we had a busy old day yesterday with lots of you getting your hands on some amazing deals across our Christmas range. But today, busy day with launch party a little bit later on, 6 o'clock this evening, 1 o'clock Eastern. Going to be bringing you a look at some of the most popular launches from the last week or so, including the return of the Venetian Grace collection, which you absolutely loved last Tuesday, and those laser cut frames, which we launched on Sunday, which I know were very popular. Super excited to see those in full later. In between then and now, we have got, of course, the official launch of our brand new collection, which I know you're going to absolutely love because you had a sneaky peek of it over the course of the weekend. If you didn't see that sneaky peek, well, I know you're going to love it anyway because it's penguins! The cutest penguins you've ever seen in stamp form. You're going to absolutely love them. And it's your opportunity to snap those up during our Wake Up Call preview show. And we've got options for you once again today, which I'll take you through in just a little bit, whether you just want to go for the stamps at a brilliant price today, may I just say, or whether you want your money to go a little bit further and go for the Showstopper and the bonus buy, which I'll explain more about in just a bit. But I'm very excited to say that it is not just me today. It is one of my absolute faves. Looking forward to spending a day with me, I'm sure, but probably more excited about spending a day with the penguins. It is Jan. How are you?
Good morning. I bet you say that to all the girls, don't you?
I don't. only the ones I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, only the ones I really like. How are you?
No, it's good to be back again. Yes,
Yeah.
I've had a little bit of time off. Had a few days at our caravan last week in the glorious sunshine.
Yeah,
it was
the weather.
beautiful. And then obviously back in today for the launch. I'm very excited about the launch. We've got some gorgeous little penguins.
They're so cute, aren't they?
6 different designs. Yeah, I've just brought you a couple to show you, just to give you a taster, and then we'll go through them through the course of the day. But they are a nice sort of size to be your main image on a card or a project. And if you love your colouring, you know, whether it's alcohol colouring, watercolouring, you know, we've got some of the Aqua blend pencils on the show today. I'm going to show you lots of different ways we can do these, but just to give you some ideas, you can see the size there. That is a, I want to say a 7x5 card. So you can see the size of them there. So we've got the little sledging away in the snow there.
Little toboggan.
We've got the one in the present there.
Cute.
Again, mixing and matching these. They do have sentiments in with the stamp sets, but mixing and matching them, you can see that lovely plaid paper under there, any die cuts that you may have. And then again, we've got the little skater penguin there. And we've got lots and lots to show you with these. They are just adorable. They really are. If you want to make a head start on Christmas cards and things like that, if you like batch making cards for selling and things like that, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, lots of different things we can do with those. And then later on,
I love this collection.
Oh my goodness, I managed to get my hands on this one and I've fallen in love with it.
How stunning is the paper pad?
Absolutely fallen in. Well, I've managed to get the paper pad this time, Ben.
Have you?
Yes. Yeah, and this is the
gorgeous.
Venetian Grace paper collection. And oh my goodness, it is absolutely beautiful. If you've ever been to Venice, I know you have, Ben. I went many years ago as a young child. Well, I'm saying a young child, a teenager, and absolutely just depicts everything about it. I mean, you've got the Rialto Bridge there, just showing you that on a bridge card. Absolutely perfect design. We've got those beautiful scrolls on the edgeables. You can just see if I lift this forward, absolutely gorgeous. And you've got the little cherub there as well. And the paper pad, like you said, Ben, is just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous cut and emboss folder. But again, you know, nothing particularly Venetian.
No.
You can mix and match this with lots of things that you may have already got in your stack. The little tassel comes in the, I think you get 6 of those in the embellishment pack, which again, we've not seen these in a collection before, but just fit so beautifully with that particular collection. So we're going to do a demo on this morning in Wake Up Call, but this will feature primarily on the launch launch party at 6 o'clock this evening. And then I've also grabbed some samples. We've also got those beautiful, delicate lace creator cards that we launched in the week again, which again, absolutely exquisite. These would actually work really well with that Venetian collection as well, because you've got that all that lovely sort of lace detail around the edge. So there's a square one, there's sort of an oval shape. And again, I've only just picked 1 or 2 of them. I've not grabbed them all. There are 4, I think, designs in total. But yeah, this really cleverly, we used the die cut to do some stenciling with to make the background.
Oh, is that stenciled?
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's so clever.
Yeah. Oh, it's die cut. It's die cut. I thought it was stencil, but yeah, you could use them to stencil with. Yeah. Yeah, so the colour's actually underneath that one, yeah, really, really pretty. And then last but not least, again, really had a play with these. We've got those gorgeous laser cut frames, and again, it's the first time we've done anything like this. So these are a lovely size embellishment. Lots of different shapes, hearts, circles, rectangles, squares, beautiful filigree edging on them. They will take pretty much any medium. So you can use them just as the wood if you wish, if you want sort of a rustic look with them. They'll colour with your pens, they'll colour with your sparkle pens, they'll colour with your glitter paste, colour with your gilding flakes, they'll colour with, I've embossed one, I've put some ink on it and then heat embossed it. So many different things. And so sometimes when you're just wanting that little something for your card, these are just going to finish it off nicely. You can just see where we've done a shaped card, and then we've used this to encase the sentiment in the centre. Again, mixing and matching it. We've got those lovely fleur-de-lis dies there, and then you've got the frame in the middle. Absolutely gorgeous, and a really quick way as well to add an embellishment to a card. So again, we'll show you those later in that 6 p.m. show. So lots to do today.
We have got
lots to do.
Stacked day. So much coming up. We've got Rachel on the socials today already. With us is Lois in from Ohio. Sarah Brown's back saying hello to all my favourite people. Yes, special hello to Jan and Ben and all the Crafters TV crew. I'm still giggling about yesterday's show with Debbie. I have it in my files to go back to watch over again. Sending you love and hugs from this flaming galah in Melbourne, Australia. Debbie called Sarah Brown a flaming galah yesterday. Yeah. Sarah took it very well.
Which Debbie?
Debbie Fisher.
Fisher?
Yeah.
A flaming galah.
Oh dear. Alicia says good morning and greetings from Arkansas. Arkansas is sweating. Temperature is 100 degrees today.
Goodness
By
me.
the end of the week, 104. That's like high-end 30s, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, we're having a bit cooler day today, aren't we? Which I can't say I'm sorry for. It was actually raining on the way up here this morning, and I thought, yes, just a little bit cooler, especially when you're working.
Woohoo! Rain. Sandra Dundas is with us saying, Ben, hi, Jan, Crafters TV crew, social media superstar Rachel, and all my chatty chums. Suzanne Dawn says, good morning, everyone. Rachel, Ben, my fave TV demonstrator, Jan.
Thank you very much.
And all you crafty people. BJ Clark's in from Oysterville. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Zoe Carver joins us from West Sussex. Charlotte's in from Herne Bay. Sarah's in from Ohio, the place that looks like a tractor. And Hayley Ralph says, and I absolutely love the penguin stamps. They're so cute. And Alison Lee on Facebook says, they're in my basket. Let me know if you've picked up the penguins. Yeah. It won't be the last time I do that, so I'll apologise now. But let us know what you're shopping for. Let us know if you've gone just for the stamps or the Showstopper. I want to know on the socials, whether you're on Facebook or indeed on YouTube. And of course, on the website right now, all the deals. This is how you pick up the deals from the 'Tis the Season sale. 70% off and more, actually, across a whole range of Christmas goodies. Basically, it is your opportunity to get stocked up and ready to go this Christmas. I mean, you do know that in a few weeks' time we launch our new Christmas goodies, but this is a great way to kind of go to Christmases past and pick up some great deals across our dies, across our stamps, across embossing folders, across card. And do you know what? It is worth having a good look through there, because yesterday, you'll note, if you joined us for that Craft Vault show, we were showing you items that we didn't know that were still in stock. Paper pads that we thought had disappeared, but we'd managed to find. I think with the reshuffle of the warehouse, we'd managed to find like a few extra bits and pieces that we thought had gone. So it is definitely worth having a fish through that 'Tis the Season sale. I know a lot of items sold out yesterday. I know a lot of things are still there and they are hanging on by a thread. However, do have a look. It's a great way to get spending if you haven't got a huge budget today, or if you are perhaps thinking about, totting up up your basket and getting closer to that free shipping. Again, it's a great way to be able to do it. But let's talk penguins. Let us talk penguins. I'm so pleased to be able to bring you the cute penguin stamps. They are exactly what they say on the screen. They're penguins and they're blooming cute. The Showstopper deal brings you everything that you're seeing here on screen, which is incredible, really. You get the brand new stamps. You get your Essentials collection of the Aqua Blend pencils. Plus, you're going to get the watercolor card, one of our waterproof ink pads, and you're going to get the Rocker Block stamping system too. All of that for £36 if you're platinum is an incredible buy. It really is. $48 if you're shopping in the US. I mean, to get these within the bundle is incredible. And then we set you up properly with all of the cards that you need, with your ink pad and, of course, your Rocker Blocks in there too. That's the best value for money to go for, right? If you go for the Showstopper, should be almost £70, almost $96. You're at £36 or $48. It also punches your ticket for the bonus buy. And the bonus buy gives you not one, not two, but 3 more tins of the Aqua Blend pencils. 72 pencils, £48 or $64. No, you'll not pay that. What you will pay is half that price if you buy the Showstopper. So you'll get the Botanical collection. You'll also get your Landscape collection. You will also get your Portrait collection for £24 or $32. That is
crazy,
isn't it?
Absolute craziness.
Artist quality, top of the range, top notch watercolor pencils. These are normally about £24.
$24.99.
Yeah. The other side of $30 per tin. You're getting that one, and that one for half the price. When you go for the Showstopper. So actually, if you're a platinum member, that is, no, I've done that already, £24, that is £60 rather, if you're platinum, for all of that. Which is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. If you do just want to buy the Aqua Blend pencils on their own, you can do, but you will pay that price. It's the Showstopper you need to buy, and then you get the Aqua Blend pencils for half the price. They are going to absolutely fly, I can guarantee it. Because the thing is, everyone will want to jump in and get the new penguin stamps. For those of you that haven't ever tried the Aqua Blend pencils before, you're thinking to yourself, I can pick up the collection here for an unbelievable price. And for those of you that already have the Aqua Blend pencils, you know how good they are, and you'll know that further down the line at some point you'll need more of these. You'll be buying them thinking, well, what an opportunity to stock up on all of these colours. Now, if you do just want to buy the stamps on their own, you can do that as well. But look at this, for £19.15 platinum or £28.56, again, just for a few pounds more, you can get the Showstopper and then punch your ticket to get these at half price. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. If budget allows today, you know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. And just as a by the by, and I always say this because certainly over the last few times that we've done a Showstopper with a bonus buy, get in early because there does come a point where people buying the bonus buy, it affects the Showstopper because all the stock's linked. It's quite complicated, but we usually sort of say first come, first served on this. And I know certainly with the last launch that we did, the bonus buy came off, didn't it, at the end of launch day. So grab it whilst you can. Any questions, you want me to clarify anything with that, let me know. But get shopping now. Let me know what you are going for. Let's get into it and have a look at these beautiful stamps. Oh, in fact, you know what? I've got so excited telling you all of the deals. I've not actually shown you all of the stamps yet. So we can quickly see all of the cute little characters. He's my favourite, Jan, this one. Yeah? Because that looks like me
when you're trying to do the Christmas tree.
Yes. I put my music on to try and soothe myself, you know, trying to calm myself down.
The lights are always a challenge, aren't they?
Yes. And that's me trying to untangle them, listening to some Christmas carols, and that's usually what I end up looking like.
The trick is how you put them away at the end of the season.
Yes, but we chatted about this the other day, and I'm pretty, because I never like the faff of untangling, and I'm sure every year I'd put them away in a good order, but some kind of like Christmas tangling gremlin.
They just misbehave, don't they, in the loft,
They just tangles them all up. You got to wrap them around something, George, have you? Oh, George
Piece
knows.
of cardboard.
Right.
Yeah, just wrap them round.
Okay. George wraps them around a pizza box, apparently. Just gives them an excuse to buy another pizza, that's what it is. So there's that first pegging. That was called Making Spirits Bright. You've got some lovely sentiments in there as well. Deck the halls, 'tis the season to be jolly. You've then got Sending Holiday Cheer. I mean, who wouldn't want a little penguin popping out of a box at Christmas time? He looks very happy with himself. You've got Happy Christmas, Sending Holiday Cheer. Then you've got a cute little penguin here, all wrapped up. With his or her jumper and hat on, things like Christmas greetings and sending you warm winter wishes. You've got the skating penguin. Have an ice day, this one's called. Have an ice day. Ice to see you. Then you've got Snow What Fun, a tobogganing penguin. I mean, why not? And one of the proper old-fashioned toboggans as well with the metal rails. That is pretty cool, isn't it? You've got Snow Much Fun, dashing through the snow. And then last but by no means least, you've got the little angel penguin with the Christmas blessings. May all your Christmas wishes come true. You are on the list. Oh, you're on the nice list. That's quite nice. And wishing you peace and joy at Christmas. So it is 78 elements in total in the Showstopper, all of those brand new stamps. Now we can get on into it. Which is your favourite character, Jan, from this collection?
Oh, now then, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to pick a favourite. It might hurt the feelings.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Just say all of them
I have tried to use all of them across the course of the day.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple of demos this morning during Wake Up Call. And then obviously there's going to be lots of demos during the launch day show at 2 p.m. So I've tried to use all the different characters for you. We're going to start out with a little skater. Have an ice day. So a little play on words there and absolutely gorgeous. 5 pieces, including the sentiments. There are the main focal stamp and then 4 sentiments in this one. And it says around about 3.5 by just over, about 3 1/4 for the stamp. If I fish this out and actually pop this on my hand, you can see they are a really good size. You know, that little guy there is sort of covering the palm of my hand, so they're good for a focal point on your actual stamps. So I'm going to keep the first one fairly plain, and I am going to use my alcohol markers on the first one. We're going to come back to those aqua blends, and I'll show you some techniques with those throughout the day. I've got one of the demos for today and then some for later on this afternoon. So I've just got my stamping platform ready, whatever you choose to stamp with. And for this one, because I'm using alcohol markers, I've taken a piece of Nina cardstock.
Yeah.
The second demo, I'm going to go to the watercolour card that we've got in the Showstopper along with the Aqua Blend pencil. So we'll do a little bit of each for you. It's just the way that they landed. So I've got my cardstock at the ready. I've got my alcohol proof die. I will be swapping that to the waterproof when we start using the Aqua Blends. Obviously, it's about getting the right ink for your line art. And then literally, we're going to take this one, and this is going to be sort of the front of my card. So they're an acrylic stamp. Okay, we're going to pop him sort of in one side. And then I'm also going to put one of the little sentiments in there as well. So we can do this all together. You can do them separately, whichever you prefer.
Yeah.
So we've got their Snow One Like You.
Aww.
But doing it this way, it gives you a chance to sort of line them up where you want them to go. And make sure you've got everything in the right space. And then when you're happy with that, we can pick those up with the top section of the stamping platform and then add our ink. So again, as I say, just make sure that you've got your right stamping ink. So whatever colouring medium you're going to go with, then just make sure that you've got that finesse, either alcohol or waterproof.
So we've given you the waterproof because that works with the pencils.
It does, yeah. And as I say, I've got those for my second demo with them. The other thing is, when the stamps first come to you, any clear acrylic stamp, whether it's acrylic or photopolymer, they will have a very slight coating on them, which comes through the manufacturing process. So in order to get that away, otherwise you'll find that the first stamp doesn't come out very well. Obviously, I've used these, so I don't need to worry about it, but different ways of doing it. I know some people like to just take a very, very fine piece of emery cloth and just just lightly sand the surface. My favourite way of doing it is actually to ink them up with my sticky watermarking first. And then add this. Doesn't damage them, okay? I know when Leanne brought out the stamp cleaning pad, you can actually give your little stamps a rub on there with the stamp cleaner. That will take it off, but you only need to do it that very first time to take away the residue, and then obviously after that they just ink up as you're ready. So we're going to transfer that onto our cardstock there, give it a good press down. Okay, and then if we need to add a second layer, we know that that's going to be in the same place, but we should, yeah, look at that. That's just
cute.
that one image, press down with the ink, and then we're all good to go. So pop those to one side, take him off there. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper. And then I've got some of my tri-blends. So again, whatever your go-to pen is, I've actually got my ordinary tri-blends here today. They could be the brush pens, could be your illustrators, your classics, whatever it is you've got if you're using alcohol. Alternatively, we have got those Aqua blend pencils, which I'll come to shortly in the next demo. So I'm not going to colour the whole thing in, as always. I've already got one coloured, but just to show you a couple of little tricks. So I've got sort of two different greys here. They are both ice grey, but the first one are the lighter shades from 2 to 5. The second one's the darker shade from 6 to 9. So I've actually used the darker shade one to colour in the little penguin body. So I'm going to start with the medium shade and just go straight in here and literally just add that colour. So again, you know, if you like your alcohol colouring, this is a really straightforward one to do. And it's up to you whether you leave your highlight. I always forget, and I'll show you my trick for sorting that out afterwards.
Okay.
I always forget to leave the highlight. I just get so absorbed in colouring in that I forget all about it.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just going to take a slightly darker one, add a little bit round there, and then just nudge that colour in with that middle tone again, and then let it dry.
Okay.
Because that alcohol has to evaporate, you will see it lighten up slightly. And again, I don't particularly want this to turn into a colouring show, because we've got lots of Colour Me Happy shows where you can see how to use all the pens and things, but I do want to look at the differences today between the alcohol and the watercolour.
Yeah.
So that was the main objective with these today. So I'm just going to do a little bit on here. Okay. And then again, just where you think there will be some shading. You don't have to add the shading. If you just want to go with that one colour tone, absolutely fine. Like I've said, it depends where you're at on your journey as to how you colour these in. So I'm just going to couple of the wings in the darker grey, and then the lighter grey. Anything that should be white on a stamped image, I always add either a little bit of very pale grey or very pale blue.
Okay.
Just around the edges to give you the illusion that there's actually some shape to your character. So with this one, I would just use the lightest grey, which is actually IG2 in this instance, and just outline the shape that you want to leave white. So just round his face here, and then underneath the hat, and then let that dry off. Okay, so again, I'm going to leave his tummy white. So again, just that little bit round the edge, and it just suggests that there's a little bit of shading towards the edges of those shapes and makes them look less flat.
Yes.
Okay, so just like so. All right, and then I've got a little bit of coral just to pop in his beak, and a little bit on the cheeks there.
I do love to see that when it's anything white. We had this similar thing recently with like a snowman. It's like, how do you colour a snowman? So it's the same sort of thing,
exactly
isn't it?
The same, yeah. Anything that should be white, just add that little touch.
It's a great tip.
Just round the edge. Normally, I would actually use my blender pen, but I brought it with me? Let me have a look. Oh, I have, yeah. Just if you've got a blender pen at home, an alcohol blender pen, which is just purely the alcohol with no colour in, you can actually nudge the edge of this grey line, and what it does, it sort of like blurs the edge, so you get less of a defined line. So again, just touching I'm not going over the grey, I'm just pushing that alcohol into the edge of the grey, and what it'll do is blur that outside line. And I'll do it on the face and leave the body so that you can see the difference. But this sort of allows that ink to bleed a little bit, and it just softens it.
Yeah. That pen we can get individually, can't we? I think the blender pen.
This is one of the originals from my original collection before we brought out the Classique markers, but there should be a blender pen in the Classique range.
Yes.
And it is just literally just the pure alcohol. There's no colour, no pigment in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it is just the alcohol. And again, as I say, I'll bring this up a bit closer. I know our George has zoomed in to have a look, but we'll bring it a little bit closer in a second. And then I've just used the blue turquoise because this was the colour that linked in with my paper that I'd chosen. So again, a little bit. And
that pen is available and in stock as an individual.
Excellent, yep. I need a new one actually. Mine's getting a little bit dry. I use it quite a lot.
Oh, we got it in the Illustrator and the Classique.
Yeah, fabulous.
Good stuff.
So again, I use the middle one. And again, just to add that little bit of definition in there. And then my trick for the highlights, which I didn't get out, it should be in my bag, is the good old white pen. All right, any white gel pen. And these are great for just adding back the highlights in. So where you've left the lighter areas, you can actually just put that little touch in as if there is a highlight.
Is that what you would normally do then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly always, because as I say, I forget to leave the highlighted area.
Looks just as good.
So you can see him there. If I bring him out with the one that I've done for you at home, I've just matted and layered it onto, oh, I was going to show you that close up. I know George is zooming out at the second, but if you have a look here, where are we, this side, look at the face area compared to the body. And that's the difference that blender pen makes. It's just softened. This one's got a definite edge where I've used the pen. Whereas here, it's just softened that edge, so there's a hint of colour there. It depends what you want, depends what finish you want. If you like it like this, just leave it as the pen. If you like that softened look, just add that little bit of blender pen to it. Thank you, George.
Pretty.
And then again, I've matted and layered it. I also added a bit of the grey under. You can see here where he's skating. So it looks as if he's not floating in the air. We've just grounded him here. And then if I just tilt this a little bit on his hat, and that on the here and the bobble, I've just added a little bit of glitter just to sparkle, you know, if you can't have a bit of sparkle, and then I've put a little line across here just using my glue pens and then some free glitter. Okay.
That's cute.
So just got him matted and layered at the ready. We're going to keep this one really, really simple. I've just kept it as an ordinary, straightforward card, nothing fancy. And again, this is where I got the colour tones from, because I'd chosen my paper, which was from last year's Frosty and Bright collection. And I've just done a quick matte layer. The centre came out to cut the matte layer for here. So you can see we've just got that little bit as a border. And again, I'm just going to use my tape pen, or you can use your glue, you can use your double-sided tape, whatever your go-to adhesive. And then make sure the card's the right way. We'll have it as a top opener, I think. And that one's going to go on there like so. I've just added the pearls ready so that they were dry. And then I've got on the back of here, you've heard me talk about the foam before.
Yeah.
So I buy this in an A4 sheet and just cut it down. It's just a few mil thick so that you've got that little bit of raised element. Not a lot on there, but just a bit. And this I'm actually going to put on with my tacky glue. So again, just the PVA tacky glue, which I've decanted into my small little pot there.
Yep.
And I'm going to use that on the back of the foam.
Just to say, Beverly's been in touch. She says, can you just clarify, on the website, it shows you get a die for each of these stamps, but you've not mentioned a die so far. I can't see that on the website. I've just had a look, but you don't. It's just a stamp set you get with the penguins, and I don't know where it shows that. but I've looked at the pictures on the shop today and I can't see where that is, but it's definitely just a stamp set that you get with the penguins. There are no dies in the set.
We did actually launch some penguin stamps last year, didn't we? I wonder if those, I can't remember whether they had dies with them or not. If there's any of that stock left, it might be that one that's popped up instead of the new launch.
Yeah, best thing to do, Beverly, is if you just hit the show button, it will bring up the ones that we're showing here and not any other penguins that we might have sold previously. Oh, does they say that on the website? Oh, it does say stamp and metal die, does it? The pack. Well, the pack. I'd say that is wrong because there
are no dies. No, they are just
dies.
Acrylic stamps. Yeah, there's no dies with them. Yeah. Sorry for the confusion, guys. Yeah, it is just acrylic stamps, and you get one feature stamp of the penguin, and then 3 or 4 sentiments in with each one. So there's a lot of stamps in there for your money. I've used one of them on the front here. Yeah. We had that, there's no one like you, and then inside I've used the Have a Nice Day, which both came from this set here. You can see those here, and then you've got 2 extra ones. So we've got that piece inside, we've got the little penguin on the front. As I said, just keeping that nice and simple to get started and literally linking it in. It's a great way to use some of the papers up that you may have left. If you don't like the pattern papers, you can make your own backgrounds to go behind it. But yeah, just so sweet.
Yeah, do you know what? Just goes to show that I look at pictures and don't read words. Yeah, it's different packaging on the website, isn't it? Absolutely. Well spotted, Beverly, but it's definitely just stamps. We're going to get that changed and clarified, so apologies for that. I was just reading the big words and looking at the pictures, not reading the small words. The story of my life, always getting caught out by the small print. Right, if you want to go for the Showstopper details, just on your screen here, where you get all of the stamps, all of the brand new characters there, plus the rocker blocks, plus your waterproof ink pad, plus your watercolor card, plus 12 of your Aqua Blend pencils, sorry, 24 of your Aqua Blend pencils, which you are going to be grabbing. You get the Essentials collection within the bundle. That is crazy value right there. If you're Platinum, £36 or $48. The pencils on their own are £24. And when you consider you'd be paying, what, just shy of £20 for the stamps on their own, you can see the value in the Showstopper right there. It's an amazing bundle. And once again, I think our guys have done brilliantly in popping in the actual right ink pad to go with the pencils. We've given you the pencils so you can colour your stamps, the right cardstock to be using for the pencils and your ink pad, and then we've even given you the stamping implement as well in the rocker blocks to make sure that you get a crisp, clean stamp each and every time. £36, $48 for the Showstopper. I'll show you the characters once again that you're going to be getting, and then we will just recap for you your bonus buy when you go for the Showstopper. So here we go. As you can see, all stamps. You've got your main penguin, and they're big size stamps as well, these. They're big, fluffy, chunky penguins, aren't they? You just want to go, oh, you know what I mean? Or is that just me? Then you're also going to get all of the sentiments in here as well, which are really, really interchangeable across all of the different things the penguins are doing there. You've got the angel penguin there. You've got your tobogganing penguin. You've got the penguin that you've just seen with Jan skating away. You've got the little penguin, I mean, dressed up nice and cosily. Almost looks like that penguin's ready to go and do a bit of carol singing. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's ready to go and sing some, you know, sing some songs. It's penguining to look a lot like Christmas. Then you've got the little penguin popping out of a present. I must dig out the picture, and I always talk about this when we have penguins. I'll see if I can do it in the break. They used to be, back in Torquay, when I used to live back in Devon, there used to be an attraction called Living Coasts. And it was basically penguins, mainly. They had a big net over this huge penguin farm, I suppose it was really, which was right by the coast, and you literally just used to walk in and walk amongst the penguins. Oh wow! And we took George there when he was probably about 3 or 4, thinking, oh, he's going to love this, you know, walking amongst, they're only little penguins, like yay high. He used to walk amongst them, and you know, you could go up to them, feed them fish and stuff. He absolutely hated it. He was like, he just did not like the fact that the penguins could get so close. Yeah. And we tried to get some nice pictures with him, and the only picture we've got is of him sort of stood there like this, head down, like that, with like a penguin about 10 foot away from him. He's like, I don't like those penguins.
Impressed.
Not impressed with the penguins.
We were at the, we went to the Deep in Hull while we were up at the van last week with the two boys. The Deep. Oh. Have you not heard of it? Absolutely worth a visit. It's like it's an aquarium basically. All sea creatures, lots of stuff about preservation and sort of not littering and things like that.
Any sharks?
But yes, and there's a walk through tunnel where the shark goes over, swims above. But yeah, they've got some penguins up there, and they've got a live TV cam on the actual penguins because it's birthing season for them at the minute. So they're all having the little baby chicks, and there was one mama there with her baby chick on the camera, and we were just absolutely fascinated watching. We stood there ages just watching the live feed on the screen that was coming from the enclosure where they were. Yeah, and there was actually one in there that looked as if she was nesting. She was sat on the egg and everything. But yeah, absolutely fascinating, but well worth a visit if you're ever up that way.
Oh, well, that's one to check out. There you go. How far is Hull?
Not that far. It takes us about an hour to get there from home. I would say it's probably in between. Yeah. Here and but it's off at an angle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worth a day trip.
Definitely. Got a cafe.
Oh, well,
sorted.
Even more of a reason to go then if there's a nice cafe.
Yep, got a cafe.
Yeah. Laura, you and the kids have a wander. I'll stay in the cafe.
Got a fabulous gift shop.
Yeah. That's all you need. So there's all your penguins you get in the Showstopper. And remember, when you buy the Showstopper, that punches your ticket to get your bonus buy. Roll up for your bonus buy. This is incredible. And as much as we've done collections before where we've gone, buy the Showstopper and then we'll give you your paper bundle for half price, this has got to be the best one that we've ever done, because we then give you another 72 of our Aqua Blend pencils for half the price. These are $24.95. I think $30 a tin if you're in the US. And we give you all of these for £24 or $32 if you are a Platinum member and you've bought the Showstopper. It is an exceptional way to pick up all of your Aqua Blends. It's an exceptional way for you to restock your Aqua Blend collection, or an exceptional way for you to get started. Do you know what? At this sort of price, even if you'd never thought perhaps of doing watercolouring before, bag these, get them, pick up the hints and tips today, watch back past Colour Me Happies to get into using these, because I have never seen a deal like this before. That's a great price before we even halve it. That's a fantastic price before we even halve it. Get the Showstopper. You pay £24 or $32. Also, just to kind of bring into the fold before I read a few of your comments and get back to the demos, today's pick of the day is also amazing. The Illustrators for £44 or $64. Do you know what? Up until the other day, I want to say that I'd not seen this configuration of the Illustrators before, the Colour Essentials, and I really love it for the fact that you've got 36 pens, but you've kind of got them colour grouped.
Yes.
And I don't think I'd ever seen this box before.
It doesn't make as much of an appearance as the sets.
Yes.
We normally have them in the sets of 6 or 12, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. We sort of put these together so you've got that lovely rainbow sort of spectrum of colour there. Yeah.
And it's, again, a beautiful pen to be working with, isn't it? An alcohol pen with your fine nib and that gorgeous brush nib.
Tip, yeah.
So, again, really, really lovely opportunity for you to pick those up. I think that's the new pack, and they're all individually. We'll have a look at those a little bit later on. But you're going to get all of your illustrators in there. You even get your instructions as to how to get the very best out of them on the side of the box. Should be £75, $120. It is £44 or $64 today if you're Platinum. Plus, you will get double points on that too, which is incredible. Only for 24 hours, though. Thank you for all the lovely comments coming through. Already shopping with us today. So many of you have picked up a penguin. Decided to get the full set of penguins, says Zoe. First full collection I've bought at launch. I needed cheering up and had store credit. Well, I mean, why would you not? How are the ducklings, by the way, Zoe, talking of birds? Oh, and if you have got any penguins, have you got any penguins? Have you got any pictures of penguins? Send the pictures to the studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk, and we'll do a picture gallery of penguins. I'll see if I can dig out that one of George. The penguins are adorable, says Mary Jo Bending. I had to buy them. Emma Bailey says, hey Ben and Jan, I've bought the Showstopper. Yippee! Christmas is coming. Does anyone else see these as robins? You could colour them as robins as well if you wanted to,
You
I
could
suppose.
actually, yeah.
Like that. Adorable card, Jan says, Colin Passardi. And Ben, you continue to make me laugh every day. Thank you. Oh, that's nice that I bring the happiness. That's why I've been married for so long, you see, because I make my wife laugh every day. You believe that, you believe anything. She's like, oh,
And we'll
no,
leave
not
that
that joke
just there.
again. And one more for now. Alison Lee says, couldn't resist the Aqua pencils as a Christmas gift for my grandson who loves drawing. It's a great day to be shopping. Let's give you opportunity to get your carts and baskets checked out. We'll come back, we'll answer your questions, we'll read more of your comments, and we'll see more with Jan after this short break.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
La 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 la. Oh hello, you caught me in full Christmas swing, decking the halls. Yeah, I know it's summer, but for crafters, 'tis the season to get started on those Christmassy projects. You can get an extra head start on our 'Tis the Season sale. We've got up to 70% off hundreds of Christmas crafting goodies. Shop with us the 26th of June till the 8th of July for a snowstorm of amazing seasonal offers. From Stamps and Dies,
shimmering and snowy embellishments, this is our early Christmas gift to you. So many amazing offers you won't want to miss out on. Tune in to Crafters TV and shop the Crafters Companion website for our fabulous 'Tis the Season sale. Ah.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for all the lovely comments coming through. Loads. I mean, come on, how cute are the penguins? Seriously, seriously cute. Good morning, says Kathy Green from a warm Mechanicsburg. Yes, Mechanicsburg. Jan and Ben love these penguins. Kathy, by the way, I thought I'd lost my wrench the other day because I normally keep it with me here because you never know when you might need, you know, to tighten nuts and bolts. And it wasn't in my little drawer in the green room. Thankfully, I put it away in my bag. I've got a little mini wrench from Mechanicsburg.
I know, I remember you saying last time I was here.
Yeah, so thank you, Kathy, for that. Always carry it with me, because you just never know. I'm a bit like, if you remember MacGyver from the 1980s, he always used to carry with him some duct tape and a penknife. Got him out, always. Got him out of all sorts of fixes, and usually helped him defeat the baddies.
Yeah.
I'm like that with me wrench.
So we've got one up from Bob the Builder. We've got Ben the Builder.
That's it.
Ben the Builder.
Can he fix it? Ben the Builder, no. He'll probably make it worse, but he'll try, and then he'll call out a professional. Zoe Carver says, Ben, there are 10 in total. Zoe's got some ducklings at home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she sent me some pictures the other day.
Oh, that's cute.
She says, I have wondered if I could incubate a penguin.
Don't know. I'm not an authority.
No, me neither. And thank you to Emma, who's bought the Showstopper. And a couple of people talking about the Deep. Carol16 says, I'm in Hull, and I'm glad that you enjoyed your visit, Jan.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Well, we have to pass through Hull to get to our van up on the East Coast. So it's a brilliant concept because you buy a ticket, Ben, which is not the cheapest on this earth, but you can go as many times as you want. The ticket is valid for a year.
Oh, nice. So
you can revisit as many times as you want during that. You could go every month, you could go every week. There's no limit on it. So you pay your fee once to go in as an adult or a child, and then you can keep... So we tend to go once a month because we're up there regularly. Yeah. We tend to visit once a month.
It's fascinating,
yeah,
that underwater
it was. And
well.
Watching Toby's just now of an age where he's actually taking everything in. He was just mesmerised by it all. He's like, come on, look at this, Nanny. Come on, look at this. And he was racing about from all the different, exhibitions that was on. Absolutely amazing, yeah. Lovely day out.
Might go there. More for my Laura than the kids. Laura is fascinated with
but there's a massive, down the centre of it, there's a massive tank that literally goes all the way up and down. It's huge.
Yeah.
And then there's lots of seaweed, there's stingray in there, there's lots of different species of fish, sharks, big sawfish.
Swordfish?
With the big razor thing on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Eels, all sorts. A swordfish is different, yes.
Laura is she is fascinated by sharks. Any shark program comes on like the Discovery Channel or whatever, she's there, she's straight away, and she'll tell you everything and anything about any species of shark.
And then there's a little glass tunnel that you can walk through, and obviously they're swimming literally about over you, which took me a while to master because I'm a little bit claustrophobic.
Yeah.
So I've had to sort of build up to it. But yeah, they're just swimming about and like, whoa, there goes the shark.
Well, there we go. You'd think we were on commission for the Deep, but we're not. And one more. Kim says, the Deep is amazing. My granddaughter, who's only just turned 1, loves it there. Other aquarium places and sea life centres are available.
They are, yes.
Let's move on from... Oh, I tell you what. Let's just quickly tell you about the cute penguin stamps, the Showstopper. Just again, if you missed it before the break, here it is. Everything that you are seeing here, you get within the Showstopper. Bear in mind, right, just to give you the value, if you were to, and you'll see this in a second, if you were just to go for the brand new stamps on their own, platinum price, you're just about under £20, okay? The pencils on their own, $24. So already you're looking at that and thinking to yourself, well, hang on, sorry, £24. So already you're thinking, well, that there is about £45 worth. And look at the price platinum already. On top of that, we give you rocker blocks, we give you the watercolour card, and we give you your waterproof ink pad as well. So all of that is the Showstopper for 36 or 48. Then you get your ticket punch to get the Aqua Blend pencils for half the price, the 72 set. So that's what you should be going for if budget allows. However, If you just want to go for the stamps today, maybe you've got a slightly smaller budget, maybe you don't want to go for the Aqua pen pencils, whatever the reason, you can just get the stamps on their own, all right, for £19.15 if you're platinum, or $28.56. That's the price for those individually. And if you are then kind of comparing and contrasting, you can see why the Showstopper is such a great deal when that's the individual price for the stamps. But it's entirely up to you. You go for what suits you best, what suits your budget best. But those are the options there for you. Right. Linda Fitzsimmons says, hey, I'm married to Bob the Builder. Well, there you go. My father-in-law is also, or was, he's retired now, he was Bob the Builder. Yeah? Yeah, it was Bob, and he was a builder.
Linda's part of our design team. Hi, Linda. She does a great job. She does, supporting us.
Venetian Grace. Now, so this is a smaller collection I'm seeing here. So this is just the dies you're getting in total for £48 or $64. It was so busy when we launched this last week. So let me show you through everything. What I will say is if you didn't pick this up, you'll be going for this collection and then you'll be going for the papers as well. I have absolutely 100% fallen in love with the papers. As we were talking about earlier on, I visited Venice. I took Laura to Venice for her 40th. The most, in my opinion, magical, beautiful, marvellous city in the world. I absolutely fell in love with it. And this collection just, I think, encapsulates how beautiful that city is, particularly the paper pad, which we'll come on to. But let's look at your collection that you are going to be getting here, where you are going to be getting your harmonious harp. I mean, how gorgeous is that for a start?
I know. I mean, it goes as part of the collection, but just, you know, anybody that's musical, I think it would be great on a sympathy card. So again, lots of opportunities just to use them as individual dies.
Yes. And again, lots of opportunity here to get your inks in as well, because you can add those through and stencil through that. If you're going to do Venice, you've got to do the Rialto Bridge. And I think our design team have done an exceptional job with recreating that in die form, haven't they?
Absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The biggest of the four main bridges in Venice, of course, the Rialto Bridge. I think that is an exceptional bit of work from our team. We then give you beautiful frames as well, which I think kind of, you know, echo the kind of style and architecture that you've got within Venice. Is of that sort of Renaissance period, that sort of Gothic period as well. You've got a bit of a mixture in Venice, but that one is actually called the Renaissance frame. And I love this one for the fact that you've got like a three-parter to it, really, haven't you, which makes it even more usable.
Yes, yes.
So that's stunning. Second frame you're going to get is, again, your ornamental frame. And what I would say about these two, particularly, well, actually both of them, yes, they're going to fit in wonderfully with what you get within the Venetian Grace collection, but these are the kind of frames, if you think about all of our collections, things like, you know, Once Upon a Time, some of the vintage collections that we've done, this isn't just going to be used with Venetian Grace,
Absolutely,
is it?
no. There's a lot of mix and match, and I think the collection seems to be going more that way now, where you can actually mix and match elements with other collections that you may already have,
You then also get within this set your Renaissance border and corners as well. And once again, love the fact that you've got that stunning edgeable there, but then all of these little borders you've got. There was a really great example earlier on, which I loved, last week, where we had like a sort of like a vellum strip across the front of the card. And then I think it was this little die here, which was used to kind of just bookend it, if you like. It's a really nice example of how to use these. But again, they're super usable, aren't they?
They're just little accents, whether you want to use them as corners, it might just be to emphasise a sentiment, it might be to pinpoint, you know, sort of like if you've put numbers as an age on a card, you could just use those to highlight that. There's so many different ways, And I mean, cutting them multiple times, the top one, you know, cut that multiple times, you can make a completely different shape with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. So to overlay them, you could make a really interesting sort of spiral shape with it,
Absolutely beautiful. And then across this, you're also going to get your little cherub. Now, again, we talked about this yesterday. It was the first question that I asked Leanne when we launched this. And I said, was that little cherub there based on your little cherub, Ada? And yes, she is. based on her granddaughter Ada. I said eventually Ada's going to sort of wise onto the fact that her image is being used, and she's going to start asking for money, isn't she? Royalties for using me within your collections. But super cute, really love that. You've also got in here again another just super usable cut and emboss folder, and like you touched on earlier, because this was one of the cards that you were showing at the top of the show. It crosses so many collections.
It does, and I love the fact that you can interchange them with other things that you may already have. The standalone features, you might just want the embossing folder, and it's the fact that it's got the cutout in the middle, just lots of scopes. It can be a centre pin in the middle, you could make it into a shaker design and add an extra detail to it. Again, really well thought out.
And last but by no means least, in your set here, you've got the Moment in Time sentiment stamp set, and it's really nice. I think we've done a great job recently, I said this on the launch, of bringing out sentiments which are very positive, very uplifting, and this one particularly great for those cards where you send to people just because. And again, it was a lovely conversation that we had, that when you have a birthday or it's Christmas, you kind of expect to get a card. How nice is it to send somebody a card on a day that when they're not expecting it? And these are the kind of sentiments that you'll use. Maybe someone who's feeling a little bit down in the dumps, and you just want to say, come on, look, I have faith in you. You are the music in my heart. Today is all about you, faith, love and hope, moment in time. And for me, being a bit of a muso, I absolutely love the treble clef and little quavers that you've got going on there. Oh, and some semi-quavers as well. I just think that's a really lovely one to potentially use in conjunction with that harp that you've got in the set. But that's all the hardware that you're going to get in your 8-piece collection. £48 or $64 is the price on that one. Then you can obviously get individually your papers as well. And this is where the game changes, because the paper pads are just quite simply, they're gorgeous. They are absolutely gorgeous. We can't send you to Venice today, but we can pretty much take you there in paper form. It's as close as you're going to get to going to Venice today, unless you've booked a holiday. And do you know what I love about this as well? Is the reverse is, we talk about like AA sides. I like the reverse on this in the fact that it is a little bit more stripped back and muted, and it doesn't take away from what you've got on the A side when you see beautiful works of art like this.
It's just amazing. You could just put one of those in a frame, couldn't you? With a little sentiment on, and it would make a beautiful piece of home decor.
It really, truly is. And, you've got I think the colour palette is great. Again, you've got so much depth and detail within each of the sheets. The further in you look almost, you can begin to see even more coming to the fore. I love the floral elements. The architecture, that is just like, isn't it, almost popping into one of the churches there and staring up at the ceiling and seeing that artwork as we go through. And again, worth bearing in mind that the reverse obviously does match up beautifully for your
The reverse of them is usually, if you strip back the pattern on the front, Ben, that's usually the very bottom background layer.
Yes.
So it will match perfectly.
Let's just go through even further. Again, get a frame.
Yeah, I just think they would look absolutely gorgeous. Maybe 2 or 3 of them side by side on a stairwell or something like that.
There's your
stunning
gondolier man.
Yeah.
Just one cornetto, he's probably singing. Tell you, when we went to Venice, that was one of the best things that we did. We had an evening out on the gondolas. It was a bit pricey, but it was worth doing.
Yeah.
And we went up and down the canals, and there was a guy, or 2 guys. There was the guy singing and another guy with his accordion, just hopping from gondola to gondola, singing all of the songs. It was just brilliant. It was the best weekend I've ever had.
Beautiful memories, aren't they?
Yeah. Where did you go? A few years ago, you say?
A long time ago. I think I was a teenager. We actually went to Italy and we did I think it was just a day visit to Venice.
Oh, wow.
Either a day or a couple of days, something like that. We stopped. It was one of those where you stopped in several places.
Yeah.
Very long time ago. I think I was only something like 14.
Ah.
So a long time ago. It's changed a lot since then.
About 30 years ago then.
I wish.
You get it in the 6x6 as well. So what we do, as you know by now, I feel like I've been talking about this for ages. The 6x6 you get, it's just in shrunken down miniature form. So you're kind of covered across all sorts of different size of card that you might be working with. So that's included. Then, brilliantly, we give you your linen card pack. And how great, once again, the colours absolutely match. And, you know, like you touched on, Jan, with the reverse of the actual the paper pads, the colours are exact here. They've been matched to all of the colours.
They are, yeah.
Within the actual paper pad. And just to show you, if I sort of
beautiful colour palette there.
Fan that out a bit, what we'll do is just randomly pick a page. We'll do that. You can see there, look at that.
Yeah.
All of the colours work absolutely beautifully. So you're not having to go sort of elsewhere within your craft room and sort of pick out other card which might not exactly match, because we've done it all for you. You're getting all of that included within the set. That linen cardstock is actually 24 sheets in total, 6 colours, 4 of each. And you're also going to get, I'll get a bit of paper to show you so in just a second, but all of your vellum included in there as well. So all of the vellum matches up perfectly with your 6x6, matches up perfectly with your 12x12 and the linen cardstock as well. It is £36 or $48 for what equates to 120 sheets of paper, card and vellum. Also worth bearing in mind that we do have the embellishments collection for you as well, which you can also pick up as a separate deal. That is your tassels, that is your gems, and also 3 new colours of shimmer ink pads as well. Do you want a quick look at those? Just a quick look. Oh no, well, you tell me, Dean. You tell me what you want to do. If you don't want me to show it, I won't show it. Okay, have a quick look. Just be really quick. Tassels. Love how we put some tassels in collections now. We had tassels in the Bohemian collection, didn't we?
Yes.
I think.
Oh, was it tassels?
We've only had tassels in something recently.
Ah.
Maybe it wasn't Bohemian.
It may be. I thought this was the first time I'd seen them, but then I don't have the Bohemian collection, so maybe I've missed them in that one.
We've definitely done tassels elsewhere.
Yeah.
Someone will tell me if I'm wrong. I probably am. You're going to get your beautiful gems. Look at those, Aurora Borealis. 100 of those adhesive gems. You can see the beautiful sparkle that you get in there, and as George comes in a bit closer, look, you can hopefully begin to see that stunning show of colour. And then you're also going to get your 3 brand new colours of shimmer ink pads. Those are little mini shimmer ink pads that you're going to be getting in those 3 colours, the pink, the blue and the gold. £15.20 or $20. And yes, it was the Bohemian collection. Thank you, Rachel. Right, let's get cracking. We'll have a look at this. Linda Fitzsimmons just says, "Hi, Jan, I love you."
Oh, bless her.
A lot of love today, a lot of love.
Right, so as always, when I get a new collection, it's a case of spread it all out, have a good look at it.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you're not sure about, die cut it out of some scrap card or some, some bits that you've got left over and see what happens, see what it does. So that's what I did, and then I've chosen certain pieces to do that first demo, along with some of the linen card and the paper and the vellum. It was a case of, by the time I finished, step away from the card, Jan, because I've got a bit of everything. So I'm going to concentrate first on the dies, and we're going to use that edgeable that we have in here with the little flourishes, and we're also going to use the Renaissance frame. So I'm going to do the edgeable first, and this one's all but 6 inches across. Yep. So I've just taken a piece of our multi-purpose card, and all I want to do is literally take this across the top edge. Okay, so I'm literally, my piece of card's not quite as wide, but I'm not too worried about that. And I've lost the end of my tape. Where have you gone? Oh, heavens, no. There it is.
Hate it when that
happens. It's not easy to see. There we go, look. So yeah, I'm just going to tape this in place. I'm just literally going to take it right up to the edge. I'm going to use my grid on my mat to make sure that I'm roughly straight. And then take it right up to the top there. So that one's going to go on the top of here. I'm going to cut that one out. And then I'm also going to cut this one, and this comes in 2 pieces. So you've actually got this as a frame, which is what I'm going to cut out, and then you've got this one that makes a mat for you to layer it onto that will then show through the frame. So we're going to just use this one for the time being. I'm going to do that, and this is a piece of the pink from that collection. So we'll stick that one down and see if we can cut these together. Okay. So if I just bring my large plates out for the Gemini, we should be able to get both of those on there. So we're going to pop that one in and that one in. And then just pop the relative shims in there. and then we'll pass those through the Gemini. And then I want to emboss them as well. They've got a beautiful, we were talking about this last time I was here, about checking out your dies for those open spaces that don't have a die cutting edge round them. And these are a perfect example. There's some beautiful detail in them. So just take these out, and then I tend to flip it over. We want those to stay, oh, it was eager to get out. Right, I want you to stay in the die.
Stay.
Stay.
Good boy.
So this one's got to go back in here. And it just nestles back in. That's okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, get rid of all the bits. You don't want to leave any of those on your plates. And then I'm just going to bring in the embossing mat. And this is going to go straight over the top of those elements. And then the job of this one is to push the cardstock into all those little holes. So we put that one back on, and then I'm going to flip it again because I need to take out now, because we've put that embossing mat in, I need to take out my magnetic shim just to compensate for that extra depth from the embossing mat. And then we're going to pass it through a second time. So it is a 2-pass job. You can't do this all together because that magnetic shim and the embossing mat should never be in together. So it is a case of cut first and then emboss if it needs it.
Yeah.
And the reason I've embossed it is I want to then do the third element of the dies, because they're actually, you know, most dies have this option to do 3 different things with them. So we're actually going to use them as a stencil as well.
Okay.
So once we've got these off here, we can check those out. Again, make sure there's no little bits stay on the plates, otherwise they could get involved next time. And then again, this one, we've got that beautiful embossed detail there. I'll sort that one out in a second. Again, if you just come and have a little look, how well, it's almost as if it's a cut and emboss folder.
Yeah,
Look
that
at
is
the
incredible.
Depth there of that embossed detail. So all the areas that didn't have the cutting edge round it have literally, that mat's pushed them through the die, and you've got that lovely area. The same with this one. It's also got lots of spaces in the die that don't actually have a cutting edge. And Jan's done I do this every time. It is better if you remove your tape before you emboss, but I always forget.
Oh yes, last time you were here,
you reminded me, didn't I? Yeah, because I do. I always forget to take it out. So again, you can see we've got that gorgeous detail on there. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the dies now to pop a little bit of ink through there. So I've just taken one of our Duet ink pads, and I'm going to take the metalwork again and pop this back inside, and you'll feel it just lock back inside. And then again, I'm just going to take a little bit of that ink and then push it through those gaps. So the gaps are where we've just done the embossing. So that card's a little bit raised anyway, so that's raised up to meet that ink, and you'll see what a difference it actually makes to the dies. It really does bring out the detail, and you can do as much or as little as you want. So I'm just going to go around a couple of the edges there, because I have got one that's already done, but I'll show you the difference between the inking and the knot. And then I'm also going to do the same with this one. So again, if you just pop your die back on, you'll feel it lock into place. And again,
it's so worthwhile doing, isn't it? Particularly when you get a design like this.
It really does. And again, you know, it may be that you want to use your gilding wax. You know, for example, you've done this in a different colour, and you can go over the embossing with your gilding wax. But for this purpose, I wanted it to tone in with the rest of the card, and I just wanted to bring that element of pink in. And again, you can just see there how you've got that little bit of extra detail by inking through it, and it brings out that that beautiful sort of flourished piece. Okay, and then the same on this one. If I take this off and show you the half and half, pop it on there. Yeah, it looks lovely like this, but when you pop the ink through it, you've just got a whole different piece. Okay, so I have prepared both of those. I'm just going to, these ones just want a little bit of water. It doesn't damage your metalwork, a little bit of water, and the ink will actually just rub off there, which I'll do in a second. So what I've done is I've got those prepared and I've cut them down to the size that I want. My ink at home was a little bit lighter than the Duet, but you can see there we've got that piece, and I'm going to take a piece of that beautiful vellum to go over the top of here. And I've stamped straight onto the vellum with a couple of the stamps from the sentiment set here. Okay. And we're going to stick that one down with our dotty tape pen.
Yes.
Because it's a patterned vellum, you can get away with using the dots behind it, and it's a really good way to secure it. If it's more of a plain vellum, then you have to be careful because the dots will tend to show through. But wherever you've got this amount of detail on it, it does hide those dots beautifully. And this is actually going to be an insert for our card. So this one's going to go on here like so. And then I've also taken that gorgeous little stamp set, absolutely beautiful, and I've just stamped her out and coloured her with some of my markers, added a tiny little bit of glitter again to her wings, and she's actually going to go on here. So again, just pop some tape on the back ready, and we're literally going to pop her as a little feature on here.
What a cute little cherub.
So this is actually going to be the insert.
Yeah.
Now you could write your sentiment on the back of here, or these are a great design for doing as an invite. So if you're having a party or a little get together, you can put an invite detail on the back. The card itself is actually 6 3/4 inches square, and then I've cut the corners from what would have been the fold over part. So I've got the two sort of wings here. I've chosen a piece of my 6x6 to go inside, and then I've literally created the pieces to go on the outside here. So it's got the pink linen card from that collection, and then we've also got some papers from the 6x6 pad. Absolutely gorgeous. As I say, I fell in love with this.
Oh, it's such a lovely collection.
It really is. It's very dreamy.
Yeah.
The papers, honestly, they just keep getting better and better, I think, with every collection.
This paper, and I'm not over-egging the pudding here, I'm not even kidding you, the papers pretty much take me back to Venice.
Yeah.
I was quite happy just in between shows when we
just having a look through it.
Yeah, because it just transports you back there.
And that's what I meant about framing them, you know, whether you use a larger piece or whether you use one of the 6x6s in the frames, you know, those deep frames. It would really be nice, especially if you've got photos from a visit, because you could also make them into like a little mini scrapbook page and then frame them. They'd be really pretty, wouldn't they?
Absolutely right.
So I'm going to pop these on the front here, like so. Just get those to stick for a second. Too much glue. Okay, leave that one to dry for a second. And then what I've done is I've also cut this one just in the plain white. So you can see here how it creates that matte layer for you, just that one outline layer. And then when you lay that other layer over the top, which I've inked and just added some little gems on as accents, you've got a beautiful piece there. And again, it would make, you know, whether you had it portrait to make a gorgeous little picture frame, if you've got any of those small, you know, the photo booth size photos,
passport size photos,
you could just have, you know, just a little picture frame. Mirror card behind it, it would make a great mirror frame. Do it in black with the gilding wax, it would look like a mirror. I'm actually going to use it landscape this way.
Okay.
Now, I thought about stamping into the back of it at first, that I can stamp on there and then put the frame over the top. But the stamp I wanted to use from here was just a fraction bigger than what I wanted to go inside. So I've done it on a separate piece, Moments in Time, and we're literally just going to nestle that inside here like so. So I'm just going to pop those together. I've got foam pads on the back here.
What ink did you use, Michelle says, to ink the vellum?
My Stays On.
Okay.
Always. If I'm inking vellum or acetate, it's always, it's made, it's a solvent ink pad and it's made for shiny surfaces. It will go on mirror card, vellum, acetate, anything like that. And that would always be my go-to one, yeah.
And also, just whilst you're
de-padding. Yep.
How many sets of the daubers do you recommend to have on hand, says Robbie? I understand you're not supposed to mix the inks on them.
It's weird because I have different tools for different jobs. I only have the one set of daubers. This is my set, hence name on. And these go with my pigment ink pads. And I use them for the pigment inks.
Yeah.
But I tend to use the applicators for the water reactives, and obviously I tend to use my quick dries for stamping. Now it may be, now that I've got a selection of the duet ink pads, because these are a hybrid, that I may buy another selection of the daubers to use with these, because you're quite right, it's best not to contaminate the inks with different types of, they've all got different properties to do different jobs, and it is best not to contaminate them.
Okay. Good question.
Right, so that one's going to go on top of here like so, straight on the top, and you've just got that lovely little border around the outside, and then again I've got the same foam pad so that these can drop into the centre there, and they're going to go inside like so.
Beautiful, that.
So that's going to be my sort of focal point, and this is going to go on the front of here. So I only want to glue it in the bottom corners here. The first thing I need to do is attach this together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a line of adhesive all the way across the bottom, because I want the bottom of this to be sealed, and I'll show you why in a second. It's what's called a crisscross card, if you haven't seen it before. So this one is going to seal the bottom of it. They're all singing in my ear now.
They're singing the wrong song though. That's because you said crisscross. They're singing. You were doing jump around by House of Pain.
Yeah.
You weren't doing the crisscross will make you jump, jump. Daddy Mac will make you jump, jump. Mac Daddy will make you jump, jump.
Oh my days.
You were doing the House of Pain version. That came on the radio the other day, the crisscross jump, and I was all over it. It's like I've been transported back about 30 years. Anyway, this card will make you jump, jump.
So what I'm going to do now then, just in these two bottom corners, I'm just going to add some of my wet glue, and then I've got time to sort of wriggle it into the position that I want it, just on them bottom corners. And this is going to stick across here to finish off the front, but by using that wet glue, that's not actually bad, but I can just check whereabout I want it to go before I actually commit to that sticking. Okay, so that's the front of our card.
Almost looks like it's a little container for an invite or something, that card.
Well, it's funny you should say that then.
Oh, no way.
Our George is in my ear. Demo of the show, Jan. Okay? So like I said, she's just nestled now. She's positioned so that she looks as if she's on top of the frame.
Like
but you've got the room here to either, as I say, write a greeting, send a message, write a note, or I just think these are great as an invite. So again, that just slots in and out. Okay? And we'll just sit there. And I've just nudged that one. Let me pop that one back in place before that glue seals. Okay, so it would be one that you'd have to actually prop up, unless you want to put an extra piece on the back of it to make like a tent card, but I would literally just have something behind it so that you can literally prop it against there, because it is meant to be more, as I say, I use these for invites.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful card, such a beautiful collection. Lillian says, I've never heard that song. You need to look it up. It's a cracker. Crisscross, K. It's not C's, it's K's. And just a quick question from Adriana. So you know embossing with the dies in the electronic machine? She's asking, Adriana, saying, can you do the same on the MIDI? She says, I use my MIDI the most and have that purple shim, but the shim die and paper combo is not thick enough. So is it a possibility or not?
No. It's a slightly different system with the MIDI and the Mini. Because you're using that plastic folder, you've not got the same option to do the embossing. So it is the electronic machines that you can emboss the metal dies with. I wouldn't want you to put extra things through your MIDI and end up damaging it, because it will mess up any warranty that you may have left on it. So don't try.
No,
Yeah.
that purple shim in your MIDI is there for your embossing
That's
folders.
for the embossing
2Ds,
folders,
isn't it?
yes. So that again, everything's about being the right depth to get the optimum pressure from the machine. So the pressure doesn't change in the machines. It's about changing the plate combinations. So when we use a 2D embossing folder or a cut and emboss folder, which are the same thickness, we need to raise that thickness to the right depth for the machine, which means adding the purple shim. It's very, very different to the rubber embossing mat that we use to actually press it into the dies.
Okay.
So unfortunately, the manual machines won't offer that embossing of a die.
No.
Yeah.
But of course they do have their super strengths as well. That's why it's nice, isn't it? If you
There is a way around it, Ben. If you really want to do it, there is a little trick.
Okay.
If you have, mine's a very small one here, but some kind of ball tool, okay, so the ones from our scoreboards, or if you, I've got some old metal ones that I've got at home.
Great
what
idea.
you can do is when that paper is in your die, wherever my die's there.
So you can manually go through it.
Okay.
Yes.
You can literally very, very gently, just as if you're sort of embossing like you would, and pop it through like so, and you'll get the same kind of deal. So those of you that are using the manual machines, you can just see all the little dots. All I'm going to do is it's about pushing that cardstock into those shapes.
Okay.
So yeah, you can get an embossed look, like a little cheat there. Yeah?
It's a bit more time consuming, but if you've only got the manual, it's a way round it.
But it's there, it's an answer if you wanted to do it, yeah.
Thank you for answering my question, says Adriana. Well, there you go.
Quite all right.
You're welcome. And that's what we're here for. We said it yesterday. We said it yesterday. That's why you come back to us, because we interact with you. We can answer your questions. We can show you when you need to see things. If we've got time and if we've got the ability to do it, we will show you. You make some beautiful cards, says Tammy. We will give you the opportunity to vote on those in just a little while. Quick look at this. I know we've got to move on a bit of a pace, but if you want to go for the paper collection, which is on your screen right now, please, please, please do not miss out on this Venetian Grace. It is beautiful. As I said to you when we launched this, I have two favourite paper pads and they're on two completely different planets, right? So on the kind of beautiful, vintage, stunning planet, you've got this one as my favourite, and on the fun, quirky, smiley, happy one, you've got the garden gnomes. I mean, those two pads couldn't be any further apart, but they're my two favourite pads that we've ever done on two slightly different planets. But you can understand why I love this one, why Jan loves this pad, why you guys have loved it. Even if you bought the full collection recently, you might now be thinking, oh, I wish I'd bought some more of the paper pads. Then jump in and grab them. They're the only things that you can't buy individually. You can buy all of the hardware individually, the dies and the stamps and the cut and emboss folder. The paper is only now available in the bundle. So that's your 12 by 12. You're also going to get in there the 6x6, so that is all the designs you've just seen there, except in miniature. Alongside that, you will also receive your luxury linen card pack as well. And as you can see there again, all of the colours, the 6 colours that you get, 4 sheets of each, double-sided, match up perfectly with all of the designs that you've got within your paper pad. And of course, we give you that vellum stack as well, 24 sheets of your vellum. And just very quickly, as I know we've got to move on, just kind of showing you how beautiful the designs are in the vellum as well. The subtle and beautiful designs that you get in the vellum. Again, really, I think, bringing to the fore the beautiful designs that our team have put together as far as Venice is concerned. I just don't think we could have done anything better than what we brought you here. It's a stunning collection of stunning imagery, and again, the beautiful vellum that you've got here is absolutely amazing. It's 120 sheets in total that you're getting across the vellum, across the paper pads, and across that cardstock as well. £36 or $48. In just a little while, actually, we're going to come back to the cute penguin stamps, which are flying out of the door. Waddling out of the door, maybe, penguins would be doing, wouldn't they? You can get the full Showstopper collection right here. Basically, if you go for this brand new collection today, you get all of the stamps included. All right, you're going to get your essentials collection, which are the pencils, the Aqua Blend pencils essentials, plus you're going to get your rocker block, your watercolor card, and you're going to receive your waterproof ink pad in there too. Do you know what? What you've got in here actually is the ability to get these and this, which is way more than the platinum price on your screen right here, plus all of the other goodies within the Showstopper for just £36 or $48. We will come back to this in more detail in just a few moments' time, but we're very, very busy right across the board here, particularly on the penguins. So let's give you opportunity to check out, and we'll come back in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right?
Yeah.
Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly how he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
I have to tell you, every single person works tirelessly behind the scenes, and I can't just give a shout out to one person, because for me it has to be John, Tracy and Jake.
Going to give a shout out to our backstage hero, and I'm actually going to say heroes. It has got to be our product coordination team. It's got to be.
Because without those 3 people, when we're on air, we wouldn't be able to function like we do. They make sure we have everything we need, right from the samples to the product to having a drink of water throughout the show. They really look after us.
You see us day in, day out, 7 days a week, live on TV. We're crafting away. We're hopefully inspiring you. Every single card, every single product, every single tool that we touch has come from product coordination. Those guys are the unsung hero. They're there making sure we have the products, we have the inks, we have the tools, we have everything that we need. We have the power to actually work our Gemini ranges. The smooth running of behind the scenes of Crafters TV is all down to our product coordination team.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the products.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
Massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously, the people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. Lots of people loving the old school embossing. Laura says old school embossing. Yeah, we've gone old school on the music with a bit of Crisscross, and then we've gone old school on the crafting for you as well. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Every day is a school day, says Adriana. I do have the Pro, but the MIDI is so much more convenient. Well, there you go. Just great to know if you have got one of the manual machines. Bit of a hack there to be able to do that. Ness Stewart says, Jan, your card's amazing. I love the cute penguins. I would love the Showstopper. It's available at a great price today. If you can stretch to this, don't forget as well, if you are new to us and you've not yet shopped, join Club Inspire, you will get this price today. And Betty Weaver says, resistance was futile. Resistance was futile. Showstopper and bonus buy have hopped into my cart. Surely waddled into your cart. That's quite a good penguin impression, that, isn't it? My favourite penguins are the rock hoppers. Oh, those are the ones with the hairdo, aren't they? Yeah. And the slightly longer, I was going to say nose, but they've definitely got a beak, Ben. Yes, the little rock hoppers. Penguins are just super cute, aren't they? I love it how it's the emperor ones, isn't it? When they have the babies and they just go underneath their, I was going to say underneath the skirt, but you know what I mean. They just sort of come out from underneath the mummy. Oh,
they're gorgeous, aren't they?
They're so cute, penguins. That's why these are disappearing at a rate of knots, because everyone loves a penguin, particularly a cute little chubby penguin like the ones that we've got here. Just as I was explaining before the break, the Showstopper deal is everything that you can see here. So you'll get all of the brand new stamps, and you'll see the value for money in a second when we show you the value of the stamps on their own. So if you are platinum, basically you're paying just shy of £20 just for the stamps. So when you consider in this bundle, you get the stamps and your set of Aqua Blend pencils in the essentials, which are worth £24.95. Already, your quid's in. On top of that, you're going to get your set of your 2 big rocker blocks. You're going to get some watercolour cardstock, perfect partner to go with your Aqua Blend pencils, and you're also going to get one of our waterproof ink pads, which is in the Pebble. So perfect partner, perfect partner, perfect partner, perfect penguins. I mean, what more could you want for £36 or $48? You might want a bonus buy. Well, funny you should say that, because we've then got the Aqua Blend Pencils 3-piece collection on the bonus buy, and you buy the cute penguin Showstopper, you get the 3-piece Aqua pencils for half that price. And that's not the half price. That's the price you would pay. You half that price. So you pay £24 or $32. And here's the clever thing that we've done. We've given you the Essentials collection with all these colours in the actual Showstopper. And then we've given you the 4 other. So there's no kind of copy across the sets here. You get 4 completely different sets of pens. So your botanical collection you're going to be receiving with all of these fantastic, beautiful colours. And we're going to be looking at these Aqua Blend pencils with Jam just now as well. If you've never seen these before, we'll show you how to get the very best out of them. So there are your botanicals. We then pop together your landscape collection. And I love the way that we've kind of rejigged these too, to kind of, I think, make them even more easy for you to use. So in your landscape, obviously more of your greens in here, your blues, you've got some greys in there too. So you've got things for your seascapes, your your countryside colours in there as well. And of course, the fact that these are watercolour pencils means that yes, you do get 24 colours within each set, but then you've got the the ability to make your own colour palette with these. You've got so many more colours than what you're receiving within this collection, and then you're also going to get. I knew this would happen. See, I've got through 2 perfectly, but someone stitched me right up there. You're then going to get your portrait collection too, and again, that's why that one was done up, because I think we're a pencil missing in there. We are. But you're going to get all of your portrait colours in here as well. So, as I say, I think it's quite nice that we've rejigged these. They are newly configured, let's just say, because I know a few people were getting confused just a little while back about these. Newly configured, not new colours. But listen, you get portrait, you get landscape, you get botanical to go alongside your set of essentials that you get in the Showstopper. This is the deal of the day as far as I'm concerned, because you get all of those for £24 or $32 when you buy the Showstopper. That is less than you would pay for 1 tin. If you are someone who's bought Aqua Blend pencils before,
and the budget allows today, you've bought this, and you've definitely bought this because you're thinking, well, what a great opportunity to stock up because I'll need more Aqua Blend pencils somewhere down the line because they are consumables at the end of the day. If you've not used them before, Jan, this has got to be, I think, the best ever deal we've done, isn't it?
I've not seen them this price before.
Incredible.
It's like when you think about what you're actually paying, it's not much more. Well, that platinum price at £48 there.
Yeah.
That's like 2 tins of pencils, isn't it?
It's
less than 2 tins of pencils. They
Yes.
normally retail at £24.99.
Yeah.
So the actual quality and the quantity of pencils that you're getting for the price, it just reduces them to, I think, as I say, one of the lowest deals I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you how to use those
Let's
now.
have a
If you've
look.
not, anybody that's not seen them before, they are so easy to use. People mention watercolouring and get a little bit scared because they think you have to be an artist, but you don't. You don't. I tend to forget, to be honest. I got these out to do some prep and really enjoyed the sort of relaxing element. As you know, my go-to is normally my alcohol pens, but I've really enjoyed using these this time. So what we're going to do is we're going to use one of the little penguin stamps again, and I'm going to cut some of it out because time's ticking away. But we've got the Making Spirits Bright. So again, you've got the same configuration. You've got that lovely little penguin that's a really good size. This is the one that's all tied up with the Christmas lights.
So cute.
And then you've got your 4 sentiments in there. So what I've done is I've already stamped that one out, and this time I've used some of the watercolour card that we've got in that bundle, that Showstopper bundle, and changed to my waterproof dye ink, which we've also popped one of those in the bundle for you as well. So essentially you've got everything you need there. You just need, we've got the rocker blocks to stamp with, you've got the card stock to stamp on, you've got the ink to stamp with, and then you've got the pencils to colour with. So you've literally got a whole collection of things that you can start making with. So I've stamped him out using whatever means that you wish. I tend to use my platform, but you've got the rocker blocks, you've got the smaller platforms there, and he's all at the ready to go. So I wanted to focus more on the pencils. Now I've got a set of these that I bring here to work, and I've kept them as they are in the tins, literally. You can see they're all virtually new, these ones. There's only been the odd ones used on demo. My set at home, there's a big argument, well, not an argument, there's a big question about whether to keep them in the tins as they are or not. Now, the tins are laid out beautifully with your colour spectrum across the top, and you've also got a list of all the colours with a swatch on the back, as near as it can be, bearing in mind that those colours are on metal as opposed to being on paper. Now, mine at home, I must admit, are all mixed up, my set that I use personally, because I like my rainbow of colours. So I start and I've got all the reds together into the oranges, into the yellow, and so on. But that's just me, okay? But I just love, you know, they're all named. You've got some gorgeous colours in here. And these are water-soluble pens that have got a real rich pigment inside them. So I'm just turning them. They do tend to get sort of twisted round when they're in transit in the car. But you can see you've got all the names on there. Absolutely beautiful. So what happens with these? You saw last time I was here when I did Colour Me Happy, we were using the colour blend pencils and we were talking about how a pencil actually worked. So we talked about that business of if you hold the pencil further back, you're only going to get a light covering of pigment on your cardstock. So I've just got a piece of watercolour card here just to demonstrate this. If you move your fingers further down the pen, you can apply more pressure. And it's literally about filling in what we call the tooth on the cardstock. Okay? So by each layer, rather than going in heavy at the beginning and trying to do it all in one go, build it up. Okay, and then literally going down to the base of the pencil, you can then add that pressure to bring that top layer in. Now you can actually create a palette doing this because these will react with water wherever or whenever you've actually done this. So it may be, if I didn't want to bring my tin of pencils today, I could have just swatched out the ones that I want to use on my image, and you can pick it up straight from the cardstock here. So all I've got is one of my paintbrushes and my water and a piece of kitchen paper. Okay, essentials really, because the last thing you want to do is flood this. And I always, when I was taught this, we've always said there's a difference between a wet brush and a damp brush. You only want it damp. So take off any excess, and then you can start and agitate that pigment. And can you see how it gets rid of all the pencil lines?
Yeah.
So literally I'm just touching the water with this. And what I want to do is then start and drag it out.
Okay.
But look, this is the bit that I want you to focus on, where I've gone from the pigment to the paper.
Yeah.
A lot of crayons I've used in the past, you can't get rid of that edge of the pencil line when you start to blend it out. With this, you can see how the whole thing, and you've got that gradient of colour. And this will always keep re-agitating whenever you add that water to it. So the more water you add, the more you can agitate. Now there is sort of a limit, because if you get the cardstock too wet, even though it's watercolour card, you will start and lift the surface of the cardstock.
Yes.
If you've ever experienced all those little tiny bits in your colours, it's usually when you've wet it too much and it starts to lift the surface of the cardstock. But you can see how you've gone from that dark to the light. Now to put that into practice in our picture that we've done, in fact I'll leave this on here so that you can see. All I'm going to do is use the crayon, and I've taken the black one, the ebony, from the Essentials set, which is the set that you get in your Showstopper today. And wherever you want to put the colour, you don't need to colour the whole thing in. So I'm literally just going to add some of that pigment into some of the areas. So I'm just going to bring it into the edges here, and then I'm going to stop. And I'm going to do the same at this side. And I've got my sort of fingers not quite at the bottom, because I don't want to press on too hard. And I'm not too worried about filling in the whole section yet, because we can go back to that. And I'm going to pop a little bit in the centre here and a little tiny bit at the top, okay? Then the pencil down. And then we come back to that brush. Again, we want it to be damp, not flooded with water. And then just start to agitate that pigment and move it about. And you can then start and bring it into the areas where you don't have any colour. And this is where you'll get that gradient of the darker into the lighter. So again, if I bring the damp brush onto this where I've got the pigment, you can see how dark it is at the bottom.
Yeah.
But then when I bring it into this area that we didn't colour, you've got that gradient of colour again.
Is the, you know, we've obviously got our watercolour pens, the Aqua pens.
Yep.
Is the main difference between those then, if you were with your Aqua pens, for example, now, you would be making a palette on your glass mat?
Yes.
But with your pencils, you're going straight into the cardstock. I mean, is that the kind of only real main difference?
You can do that with the pens. You can go with straight to the cardstock with the pens. But
we mainly don't,
The
do we?
cardstock's very thirsty. You tend to use a lot more ink than what you would do if you do it from the mat onto your card. So I've virtually done the most of that now with just one sort of dab in my water pot. I've just literally just dampened it again. Now, what I would not recommend now is taking your crayon onto anything that's damp.
Right.
Okay, because this is water soluble, I wouldn't recommend taking it onto those areas that are damp. But what you can do, again, just by taking the damp brush, is take a little bit from the edge of your pencil. Try and avoid the wood. You don't want to get the wood too wet. And this then will allow you to add a bit more shading. You see how we've got that depth of colour?
Yeah.
My brush is way too wet there. If you can see the water on your card, the brush is too wet. Okay, which is why it's useful to have that little bit of kitchen paper at the side of you just to blot.
Yeah. So just re-exploring that question then. So when would you personally tend to use pens as opposed to pencils, or is it just horses for courses? How you
I think
feel
a
on the
lot
day?
of it's preference.
Okay.
Some people get on with the pens better than the pencils, and there are different techniques. One of my favourite techniques, as you know, with the pens is using the glycerin.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that with the pencils.
No.
So they've got different properties, even though they're both water-based products. Okay, so I'm going to leave the black alone for a minute. What I would do then is go to a different area, because if I started working now with a wet brush in here, it's going to bleed into that wet area. So come further down. So for example, we'll pop a little bit of the orange just on his sort of little flippers here. And again, I'm not too worried. I've just scribbled a little bit into that area. I've not coloured the whole thing. I've not taken it right to the edges. Make sure the brush is clean. Take off that excess again. And then we're literally just going to agitate that pigment, and it will spread it out into the area, and it takes away that kind of scribbled effect. If you look at this now, it's drying, as opposed to when I put it down onto the, can you see how you've got that, what I call that pencil scribbled effect?
Yeah.
This has actually smoothed it all out, so the water really does activate it.
So to answer that question as well then, just whilst you're talking about that, Rosalind says, do the pencils have to be blended out, or are they just good for colouring? She says, I've got so many sets, I want to give some away.
No, you can just colour with them.
Yep.
Absolutely. And you can colour, if you're just colouring with them, you can use a smoother cardstock, so you'll not get as much of this kind of texture. Because the watercolour card has a slightly pitted surface, that's why you get this texture on here. If you were wanting to do just a plain colouring with the watercolour pencils, then I would probably use our multi-purpose card to stamp on, okay?
Yep.
Just remembering, again, I would still use the waterproof ink, just in case you decide to maybe add a bit of sparkle or something like that that's also water-based. What you don't want is the line art to be water-based ink, because the minute you touch it with the water, you're going to lose the line art as well. And then depending on, how you want to do this, you can take your colours and add just a little bit in the base. I'm just going to go with the lights here, just pick one or two, because again, I've got one that's finished. Just add a little bit in there from the pencil. And as I say, I can't explain how little water you actually need. Like I said, if you can see the water on your cardstock, there's too much.
Yeah.
You just want it damp enough to agitate that pigment and draw it out and get rid of the pencil line. You can see how that's literally blending it so that the pencil line is no longer there. Okay, and then have I got in that particular collection, we'll go with that one, just for his little antlers. So this is all the essentials, but the beauty of having the full 4 collections is that you've got pretty much every colour. Now, the one thing that I will show you just before we finish colouring in as well is that you can blend these, because anything watercolour, you've heard me say many times, will play together. So I'll just do that quickly, let that dry, and I'll show you what I mean. So for example, if I go with primary colours, we'll go with a red, pop a little bit of that down on my watercolour card again, just fill that in, and then if we go with a yellow, we know that red and yellow make orange.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, there is an orange in the tin, but you can have an experiment at making your own colours, because now we can take the red one and agitate that ink. We can take the yellow one and agitate the ink.
I can't believe the amount of colour that comes out if you add the water. It's
and then when we
incredible.
actually blend them together, you can see where you get that orangey third colour in the middle. Yeah, so even though you've got a tin there with 12 pencils in, no, there's more than 12 in there. How many have we got? 24 pencils in. I'm going to say that looks more than 12. You've got lots of different options for making different colours with them. If you add a darker shade to them, so for example, you can darken the red by adding one of the darker grey colours, tone it down a little bit. So lots of different ways of making different colours. But when we've finished, this is what we've ended up with. Now, I've used that very pale grey in there, which is fossil grey, and done the same technique around the face as what I did on the alcohol one. So I've just added a little bit of that light grey and blended that in so that it's not, you can see the difference with this one here, how white this looks.
Yeah, yeah.
As to more, it just creates that more sort of shape with your little characters. So that was a very quick demo with the watercolours. I'm going to come back to those again during the launch day.
Launch day, sorry.
Thought the batteries had run out then.
I did for a second.
Yeah, I was trying to think which show it was, the launch day show later, yeah. So I've actually cut these out with one of my stitched ovals, and I've done the next layer up in a different colour just so that we can layer this on here. So I'm literally going to pop him on with a little bit of double-sided tape, and we're just going to mat and layer him on here. And again, you know, if you're not so hot with the highlights, you can come back to that. Even on the watercolour, you can come back to that pen and you can add those little white highlights in if you wish. So, you know, wherever he's got sort of a little bit of light, it's entirely up to you. It's there if you need it. You can just see when that white dries, it'll come a little bit brighter. And then remember, you can just see under his little feet, little tiny bit of colour under the feet, or even all the way across to ground them so that they don't look as if they're floating around. And then I'm just quickly going to pop this together. I've just got some mats and layers just to make a quick easel card with this one and use him on the front. So I'm going to use my double-sided tape just for speed. I can't believe, looking at the clock now, where the time goes. It just disappears.
Like penguins,
every time I come in this building, time disappears. It's like coming in a time warp.
It is.
So one inside, then I've got my front piece the same, and this paper's from the one of the older paper pads, the Enchanted Christmas, which is a real nice sort of contemporary set of colours.
That is an older one, isn't it?
It is an older one,
before my time, I think.
And then again, this wants to just stick on that middle section rather than the whole piece, which is why I tend to put my glue on here rather than on the back of the this piece. So I'm going to match that up at the bottom, like so. And then I've got a piece that I'm going to bring across the middle here, just to break up that line. We're going to put that on here like so. Oops. And then I've got some foam pads that I'm just going to pop on the back of my, so.
George is now thinking of penguin biscuits because we've been talking about penguins all day. I'm sure I've said this before, I only found the correlation between the two of the biscuits that I don't actually like. I don't like a bourbon biscuit and I don't like a penguin.
How rude. How can you not like a bourbon biscuit?
I just don't like them. I don't like them. Well, here's the thing. Let me just explain that first of all. So I don't like bourbon biscuits and I don't like penguins. I only found out about a year ago. Do you know what a penguin is? It's a chocolate-covered bourbon biscuit. I never knew that. So that then makes sense, you see. So Dean really likes penguins but doesn't like bourbons. Do you like a bourbon and a penguin, Jan? Jan, do you like bourbons and a penguin?
Anything that's got chocolate on, I'm in.
Anything, either
I'm in, yeah. So I'm just going to use that one to raise.
Very important talking point that going in the gallery. Oh yeah, very important talking about biscuits. I do love a custard cream though. That is my favourite biscuit. That and a shortbread, proper shortbread biscuit. They're the type that they have in like gift shops. George likes the chocolate hobnob. Favourite biscuit, Jan?
Favourite biscuit? I quite like a good old digestive.
Oh yeah.
Or a malted milk covered in chocolate.
Ooh,
They're like half covered in chocolate.
Yes, that's a shout. I like a squashed fly
I'm
biscuit
going to leave
as well.
that one there because I have got one that I actually decorated a bit further. You can see here, just adding a few gems and a little ribbon on there. It's just taken it that step further, just to add those little tiny bits of extra detail. But yeah, using pretty much what's coming in that brilliant Showstopper deal. We use the penguin stamps, we use the watercolour card, we use the ink pad, and we use those beautiful Aqua blend pencils there, yep.
Love that so much. Time disappears, says Sherry Burns, whenever you craft. And Pammy says, I love using my Aqua pencils like this. The tins make the pencils so portable. All you need is a brush. All you need is a brush. And you can get water anywhere. Violet Hastings says, sitting in my car, engrossed in Crafters TV, and almost made myself late for a doctor's appointment. Sorry, that happens sometimes. And Joshy says, I've just emailed my penguin cards from last year to the studio. Lol. We will have a look at those maybe in the launch show. And if you've got any more penguin-esque makes you want to share with us, you can. And also, any pictures of penguins, just generally, not the chocolate bars, the actual penguins. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. And no pictures of Batman's arch enemy, penguin. Proper penguins. Shall we get the vote going for the demo of the show, and then we'll recap on everything that you need to know. Show us your makes, Jan. What have you popped together for us?
I'm just clearing up all the mess I've made. I've got things everywhere, which is not like me. So we've only managed to get through 3. I did have 4 demos, but I will try and incorporate the other one into one of the shows later in the day. So we started off at the top of the show with those gorgeous little penguins, just keeping it simple on a normal square card and using our alcohol markers, just touched up with a bit of glitter there. So that was Have a Nice Day with the little skater. Then we went on to the Venetian Grace collection, and we made that lovely little crisscross card using lots of elements from the collection, with that pull-out piece with the vellum that we can actually write your invite to your function on. So that was number 2. And then back to those little penguins with the Aqua blend pens. But again, you know, you can see the difference with the watercolour.
Yeah.
And much more bold with the alcohol pens. So again, there's a lot of preference out there as to which I tend to reach for these just because they're handy at the side of my desk, but I do enjoy the relaxing nature of that watercolouring. So that one's number 3.
1, 2 or 3.
Yep.
You've got 2.5 minutes. It's got to be. There's a lot of 2s coming from the gallery, but I'm going along the lines that you guys are loving the penguin collection a lot from what I'm hearing, the amount that you've bought. So I'm going 3. I'm going 3. I love when Jan is on. She explains everything so well, says Sarah. Big thank you. And Zoe says, I don't like bourbons, but I do like penguins. Now, when you say you don't like bourbons, but you do like penguins, you mean penguins the biscuits or penguins in real life penguins? Everyone loves a penguin, don't they? Real life penguins, not biscuit penguins. This could get very confusing. Get voting. Whilst you do that, just quickly wrap up everything that you're going to get. The Showstopper is absolutely waddling out of the studio because, as we've chatted about, penguins can't fly, so it's not flying out. They're waddling out. All of this you're going to get within the collection. So I'll show you the stamps actually, so then that we've kind of covered that off. All the stamps you will get within the Showstopper, or indeed if you just go for the stamps on their own, are here. So this one is called Sending Holiday Cheer, which is the little penguin popping out the present. It's not easy to say. And then you get all of the sentiments there. A gift from me to you, a special Christmas delivery, sending holiday cheer and happy Christmas. Then you've got the cute little penguin in the bubble hat and the little Christmas jumper. He's very cute, isn't it? I love the fact that they're squishy penguins.
They are, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. Season's greetings, sending you warm wishes, Christmas hugs. You've then, oh, hello. You've then got your skating penguin, who we saw earlier on, this time with a more traditional sort of red Christmas hat on. He's called Have an Ice Day. There's the tobogganing penguin. Snow What Fun, that one's called, if you want to go for that individually. It's the happiest season of all. Snow What Fun and dashing through the snow. Angel Penguin, Christmas Blessings.
I love that one. That
Cute.
would make a really nice sympathy card as well. Taking Christmas or penguins out of the equation completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Or on like a christening.
Christening card, or
a baptism, yeah, something like that.
Quite cutesy.
He's cute.
Yeah, I like that idea for like a christening card, because a lot of the christening cards you get do tend to be quite, as they should be, like religious and a bit more serious. So that's a little bit more of a cutesy christening card. Nice. And there's my fave. There is my fave. We'll call this one Penguin, because that is me, Penguin. Getting tangled up in the lights, music on. Even actually, no word of a lie, with the reindeer antlers, because I've got a set of those too.
Yeah.
It's almost like they did model it on me. You got the hope you have a festive, fun-filled Christmas, making spirits bright, and 'tis the season. All of those are included, whether you go for the stamp set or just the Showstopper. If you go for the Showstopper, you get the stamps. As you can see, you get the first set of your essentials there in the Aqua blend. So as we know, those are worth £24 on their own, £24.95. Those, if you're Platinum today, you're going to be paying pretty much £20 for, so already that's £44 worth of value. Adding into that, we're giving you your waterproof ink pad and the pebble, your watercolour cardstock and your rocker blocks. That's an incredible price for £36 or $48. It also then, of course, gives you the opportunity to pick up the bonus buy, which is all of the other Aqua blend pencils. You're going to get your botanicals, you're going to get your landscapes, and you're also going to get your portrait collection. If you were just buying that for the price on the screen, you're not buying the Showstopper, let's just say, you're just picking up that today at £48 or $64, that is nigh on. For £48, you're buying the 2 and you're getting the 3rd for free. However, if you go the Showstopper way, halve that price on screen, so that becomes £24 or $32. That's like you're getting all 3 of them for less than the price of 1.
And they just add to that, Ben, they are all different colours. There's no duplications.
No.
So the whole set there, the whole of the 4 tins, there are no duplications in colours.
You get your essentials in the Showstopper, and then the 3 there, and all completely different colours. And so in essence, it is 96 colours, but as we've discussed, I mean, how many colours is that?
The mix and match is like, you can't put a number on it, could you?
No,
yeah?
you really, really couldn't. So that is definitely the way to go if you can. Lillian says the penguin in the box looks like he's graduating. Yes, I can see that. And I also see the demo of the show vote come through. He's done it again. Although Rachel says, come on, Ben, you know George is rarely wrong. He was wrong yesterday.
Oh.
But you're wrong a lot. I thought it was only on 1. Or was it 2? It was on 1. He's got it right today, though. Demo of the show. 2.
Number 2. Thank you very much, guys. So that was that one with that little insert, the little crisscross card.
There you go. Venetian Grace, that one. We'll see that more later on in Launch Party from 6. Massive thank you to Jan. We will be back in an hour's time because we've got the official launch of the Penguins in Launch Day. Launch Party coming up later on with the Venetian Grace. Those beautiful intricate dies we've got for you as well, plus a whole host more. And don't forget, on the website right now as well, we have got the 'Tis the Season sale, 70% and more off a whole range of Christmas items for you. You need to be shopping that. And actually, I think a little bit later on we will be showing you some of the best deals on the shows. So until then, check out your baskets and we'll catch you back here in an hour's time. Bye for now.